Alright, take two. I've got a chopstick here with a fiber in the end of it. If I let the camera focus on it, you can see the chopstick's being illuminated by the light source on the camera, and there's the fiber. Now, if I take the chopstick out of the photo, the camera will focus again on the golf bag. You can still see me waving the fiber around. If I bring the fiber closer to the lens, it gets larger. This is a long fiber, of course. It gets larger. The light source for this particular camera is on the right side of the lens, so if I'm on the right side, you can see it. If I go to the left side, it starts disappearing. Now I'm going to hold it to the left side. I've got another infrared light source in my hand. I'm going to turn on that light source. There you can see the fiber. I'm going to reorient this here. You can see the fiber now with the other light source. If I turn this one off, you can't see it. The camera's light source does not illuminate it. My light source will. If I go back on this side, I can let the camera illuminate it. Where'd it go? There it is. A little bit of static. Okay, so that's my little thin fiber. So the camera will illuminate it. Right now it's focused on the golf bag again, so that the fiber is out of focus. You can sort of see it on the right side. Now if it was a piece of dust, it would look like an orb. Now, against a lighter background, I'm going to have to move the camera a little bit. There's my fiber there. Against a lighter background, you really can't see it. It won't show up. Now if I were to zoom in on the golf bag, then of course this makes the focus problem even worse. Where's my fiber? There it is. Now this thing gets to be huge. Now if I'm illuminating it, that little fiber gets to be huge. You can't tell how far away it is. If I move it out, it gets to be more in focus. Now I'm going to let the camera light it up from now on. You can sort of see it on the side there a little bit. If I get too close, it's too big and you can't see it. If I get a little bit further out, it gets a little bit more in focus. You can see a little bit better. Now if I get far enough out, it'll look like you'll be able to see like a point of light or something. Let's see. That's like, it's about 2 feet out. 2 feet, you can still sort of see it a little bit. If I go 3 feet out, you can't really see the fiber. Now if I'm 3 feet out, and if I light it up with this light, you can probably see it. But see, the camera doesn't have enough strength to light this thing up at that distance. So therefore you can't see the fiber unless I light it up with my big light source. Now you can see it. The camera can't light it up. So the only dust you'll see in your camera has to be within 2 feet, which by definition is out of focus. Right now I'm focused on that bag, which is 6 feet away. Maybe 7 feet. So the only dust you'll see is within 2 feet. That's why the whole room doesn't look like it's just totally filled with dust. Now, if I were to illuminate We'll talk about lens flare. That's lens flare on the bottom because my light's on top. Lens flare is on the bottom. That's not what orbs are. Orbs are not usually lens flare. It's usually just dust. You can get lens flare, and some people may call it an orb, but you're much more likely to get dust than lens flares. Now I'm going to generate some dust in a second. I'm going to find something to shake to get some dust going here, and then you're going to see what dust looks like. Can't see what I'm doing. Here's something with some dust in it. Okay, now, using the camera's illumination, make a little bit of dust. That's just with the camera's illumination. Now, if I were to put this my extra infrared, you'll see that there's lots and lots of dust out there. But the camera, that's camera only, that's with my extra. So with my extra illumination, I'm illuminating directly in front of the lens, maybe 3 inches. Now I'm going further away. The dust is getting smaller. It gets bigger. If I get closer, it gets bigger. If I get further away, it gets smaller because it's more in focus. Now, if I go far enough away, you won't be able to see the dust because it's so small. You just barely see it there. If I get further away, let's see how this works. If I get further away, over here, you can't see it. You can't see it because the camera can't get enough resolution. The camera doesn't have the resolution. I'm generating plenty of dust, trust me. But you'll never see it because it's so fine, it's so small, that the camera can't see it. If I get closer, you can see dust. You see dust. If I get really close, then you see lots and lots of dust. All kinds of dust. Man, I got everything everywhere. Must be a graveyard, right? Everyone knows ghosts hang out at graveyards.